Honourable Member for Little Bow.
Mr. Speaker, the current government's carbon tax will make life more expensive for all Albertans and raise costs on businesses in our province. Yesterday, while discussing the main estimates for infrastructure, the minister admitted that there was no finished assessment on how the carbon tax will impact costs for the construction industry. While there's no formal assessment, has the current government asked Alberta's construction industry to see how the increase in gas and diesel prices will impact them?
Minister of Infrastructure.
Mr. Speaker, I had a further opportunity to discuss this matter with my officials in the department, and it's extremely difficult to calculate these things. We will undoubtedly see some incremental effect with respect to that, but that will have to be tested when we see tenders in. We're still expecting the tenders to come in at lower prices because of the downturn in the economy, Mr. Speaker. This is a great time to be investing in the infrastructure that Albertans need. We can get very good deals at low interest rates, Mr. Speaker. This is the right thing to do for the people of Alberta.
First supplemental.
Mr. Speaker, given that the carbon tax's impact to individual Albertans will certainly be a burden, and given that those charged with constructing the buildings required in our province will see no relief from this new tax, and given that buildings like schools need to be heated once they're open and thousands of students require busing transportation, has the current government done any assessment on how taxpayer dollars allocated to education will get less bang for their buck as the result of this carbon tax?
Minister of the Environment.
Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker. And you know, the piece that the opposition leaves out consistently is the reinvestments in energy efficiency programs, and those are designed to reduce emissions and therefore costs. That is a piece that I am aware, Mr. Speaker, that the previous government didn't understand, given as they left us being as the only place in one of the only places in North America without an energy efficiency strategy. But also, the official opposition has no concept of how this basic energy efficiency calculation works.
Second supplemental.
Easier to attack the opposition than answer the question, Mr. Speaker. Given that there are numerous hospital projects on the go in the current government's proposed capital plan, and given that many types of surgeries that have been booked by doctors must go forward, and given that hospital facilities need constant, around-the-clock electricity and heat in order to function, has the current government done any assessment about their ideological carbon tax that will affect health care costs in our province?
Minister of the Environment.
Well, once again, Mr. Speaker, our carbon levy will be reinvested right here in Alberta in a number of different initiatives, not the least of which is public infrastructure, Mr. Speaker, in order to reduce our emissions. That is the point, because greenhouse gas emissions cause climate change, which is real. And so what we are trying to do here, Mr. Speaker, is price those emissions per many economists' advice, including Preston Manning. And so, Mr. Speaker, we will reduce those emissions, and organizations will reduce their costs.